Let's see that there. Hey guys. So as the regular season draws to a close, there's so many speculations. There's the first speculation of but I'm talking about the ACFL, the AFL college football. Regular season starting to wrap up, and our teams start that it has stuff to do. It's the time their run is already going to be officially over. We've seen some cool guys, but now we're talking about what the draft is. Now, I'm gonna be going ahead and talking about pretty much about the ACFL draft about some ACFL draft prospects and what we all think will be. Either way, let's go ahead, hop in. What the heck? Hello everybody, it's your boy the Brown Man. Here we are back again with another video, bruh. Alright, so today's one, we're going to be talking about the AFL draft and what could it bring. Now the AFL has a draft. And there are leagues that do drafts, like IFA or OFL. Either way, we're talking about. But for this one, we're talking about AFL. Now, the AFL draft, it's pretty much going to be a big thing. The best players from college get to go ahead and have a chance to start fresh. Now, as you look to go ahead and talk about it, we're going to be going ahead and kicking off. First, you gotta look what the draft could potentially hold. Nice One Tony has been pretty much a good prospect to evaluate. In fact, for me, he's done pretty good this season, but following the loss of Texas, I'm not really sure whether this is kind of confirmed or not, but was the team being carried by wide receiver Carter? By wide receiver Carter? Carter left for Maryland, so what does Tony bring? Well, what I can't say is that despite the fact that Tony doesn't have a true number one wide receiver yet, he's forced to spread the ball around a lot, he could go ahead and have one, and SMH Gavin. Before we talk, Tony has a good stat line, and it has a running deck thing, which his closest comparison in his game kind of reminds me of Seahawks quarterback I don't throw picks, or as we like to call him, Cole. Now, Cole pretty much kind of dominated as a rookie. Then there was a little fallout between him and head coach that saw him leave for a little bit. And that was also around that time I went ahead and revealed that he was pretty much was camping in Publix. Learning how to go ahead and doing that. Well, not only that, another big issue was, of course. So now we talk about pretty much what that pretty much brings. There's pretty much big speculation. Remember, AFL is pretty much one of the largest Roblox football leagues. Although they don't really go ahead, or they might not look like it on the Roblox group, they actually are the second highest. Now, OCFA is, I mean, technically people say that they're the third highest because of OCFA, but for me, I don't count OCFA because I think OCFA is just a part of OFL. It's just that college part. It's like overall, it's better just go ahead and combine the big OFL and OCFA into one group and have AFL and ACFL into that other group. So overall, the second largest group in the league. And it takes, and with that, it's with a lot of people, it takes a lot of time. And time isn't everything. But like this is basically college. This is basically college. So people have been asking, what can Nice One Tony go ahead and bring? Now, if you go ahead and talk about Tony, I'm basically going to go ahead and read his stat line that's recorded. In 6 games, he's pretty much has completed 114 passes, as he has thrown 179. So he completed 114 of them. Has pretty much 2,949 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. If you go ahead and you type that all in to this Pro Football Reference passer rating calculator, as you can go ahead and see, I usually like to go ahead and double check my answers because I don't want to go ahead and type in something wrong. And then, well, yeah. So according to the passer rating, his passer rating so far is 121.9. It's a solid passer rating. It's a solid passer rating. But in week 7, I know they haven't gotten his week 7 stat line yet, but they'll figure it out eventually. I mean, if you look for, although he's second in the league in rushing, behind former quarterback Val. Yeah. Overall, he's a good QB. It's just there's nothing much I can really say. Now, overall, you pretty much you gotta go ahead and give him some respect though. He has went ahead and he's gone ahead and found a replacement. Replacing it with SMH Gavin, it's a good option because Gavin, although people say he's kind of trash, can't really ignore the fact that he's actually has 498 receiving yards, which is the 7th highest total in the league. 21 catches, and has scored 6 touchdowns. Oh, that just basically shows that basically now the offense is going to go through him. I mean, Tyrese with the Durag's okay though too, but I think he left for LSU, and the other way, that's just another big part. So my point is that I do believe that Tony can go ahead and he can play in the league. He's going to have to go ahead and work hard for the grinding spot. Because he doesn't need to go ahead and be the next I don't throw picks. And surprisingly, the man has gone ahead and he has ran more times than he actually has done passing. Yes, I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and explain that. If you look at overall, Cole usually doesn't go ahead and usually run it. He didn't really run it that much, and he did go ahead and work on his completion percentage. So he's gotten better on that. But there hasn't been a great supporting cast, which does result in him going ahead and he's having a career high rushing season with 102 carries for 765 yards and 5 touchdowns. Here's another example. Overall, he has more rushing yards on more carries than Reese. But they both have the same amount of touchdowns. So that overall explains that, well, I mean, for Reese, he's basically a dual threat quarterback. So basically, if Reese were to do it, that's Reese. But Cole, he doesn't really have much of a supporting cast. And that supporting cast has gone ahead, and that actually is biting them. As pretty much the team in the first 7 games has went ahead and is now 3-4 on the year. To be fair, and here's the big part: the Rams are 4-3, and the 49ers are 5-2. But that's the fact the Seahawks are still barely contending. They are pretty much in 3rd place in the league, which is kind of respectable considering the fact that that one team that they have in the division, the Cardinals, is 1-6. So basically, you're still in the game. But either way, back to our original topic. I mean, we talk about one of the quarterbacks in Zaven. Zaven's has although he's thrown less times than Tony, but he has a higher completion percentage. Less times. It's just overall. It's just so in the 5 games that have been officially been stat lined, Tony has basically thrown 1,972 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. And he's playing on a spread on like a Bruce Arians type offense that's conducted by himself. So for Zaven, he had some great to okay talent around him that he's built up himself. Although he could work a little bit on the touchdowns. I mean, overall, I'm gonna go ahead and say, to be fair, Texas, basically Nebraska, has gone ahead and has played pretty much has had a tough schedule so far. Overall, although Tennessee might go ahead and fight for Middle Pride, probably not going to get it. Stanford might be a challenge. Yes, I'm saying might, but they've been crumbling surprisingly lately. In that Week 8 matchup, I forgot who it is. That should be easy sweep. So overall, I mean, they're pretty much 4-2 on the year, so they can go ahead and end the season at 7-2. It's a respectable record. It's respectable. But like I said, overall, declaring for the AFL draft will be a thing. You'll have to fill out. Well, I can officially say, I mean, judging by how the season's going to end, it's probably going to end in November, around that election day time frame. And I'm not really, I'm not really a big fan of election day, so you don't need to talk about it. So yeah. Either way, basically, he's in a situation that is going to have him an approved thing. Now, let me go ahead and type in those punch numbers. Zayden has 162 in those recorded stats. Okay, just go ahead and just go here. Like overall, it's basically his better stat line, but for him, his pass rank's slightly lower at 117.8. Like to be fair, those 1-inch burns sometimes can be easily jumped. So, well, but basically, there's also some big things to say. Basically, there was some demotations that I could say that's happening in AFL. It was a new head coach that they went ahead and signed. Right. So overall, Gimmy's back pretty much as that's pretty much. I mean, there was also some big suspension news. I mean, I did get some news. Glock in my pocket did go ahead and appeal that. And appealed. X-Clip, he went ahead. He appealed. Barnett will wind up going ahead. And pretty much getting overall he pretty much is off the hook. Gimmy's back pretty much, although he is suspended for the rest of the season. He's not blacklisted he's not coach blacklisted, and he is playoff eligible. Except Mike will end up getting up on bail, and Rivian get elected on bail. And also some big news, there's a statement going ahead and release this. Apologies for the past events that occurred in the past 24 hours to the fact that I did not completely review the case or nor wait the appeals to come in first before making a decision to put on me, and I take blame for it. Majority it was a miscommunication on high ranks. Chargers will remain Super Bowl 8 champions. Again, sorry for the convenience happened to cause both organizations. Please make sure this won't happen again. We'll start being most vulnerable because especially making the correct call. Again, I take all blame. So, that was kind of weird reading that. That was a statement made from Reese. Pretty much what you can say. I mean, overall, although those two quarterbacks go and take the cake. Like, people tend to forget about Lucky and Val. I mean, Donner has gone ahead and he's broken out, but he's gonna be in for another. He's gonna be for the next video. Either way, this team has been like overall. Lucky pretty much is the only quarterback with over 2,000 passing yards in the league right now. But overall, there hasn't really been a guy that has really gotten past 3,000 yards passing ever since season 7. and hasn't really been never been a 1,000-yard receiver. So Finley basically has a chance to go ahead and Carter back and get Carter up to 1,000. Now, unless Beanhole comes back, I don't really go ahead. Carter might go ahead and might be the first 1,000-yard receiver in ACFL history. Val has a chance to go ahead and rush for 1,000 yards, for 1K rushing yards, which has never happened before in ACFL. I mean, Jackson is kind of dual threatish, but if you look at his rushing stats, you see that he has 27 carries for 177 yards and 1 touchdown. I mean, so overall, he has basically less rushing yards, but it's like, this is more dual threat. It's more passing. It's just in a more passing situation. I mean, the other two, only big dual threat quarterbacks in the league, like B. Tyler, his rushing stat line's okay-ish. Overall, there's nothing really big to say about some of these rushing stat lines. Def ATL hardly runs it. So basically, Cole and Reese are going to go ahead and take the top spots. Price surprisingly having a big rushing has been is somehow in the top 7 in rushing yards, which is kind of weird. Strange seeing you up here, Pred. You're mainly a passing type of quarterback, huh? But overall, even Falcons rookie Politico, he's having a good season. Surprisingly, he hasn't gone ahead and run that much either. I mean, like I said, for pretty much in this college football thing, Val will have to go ahead and navigate. I mean, literally, the triumph somehow over UCF was kind of a big one. I mean, there was one point that she went ahead and taunted the rushers. Normally, taunting is kind of a no-no, but this is Val we're talking about, and, well, yeah, she's cool. She's cool. Either way, her week 6 game stat line, that was pretty much recorded. Should be having only 7 touchdowns to 10 interceptions, but naturally I don't care. Well, either way, I'm going to go ahead and head out now because, well, yeah. Like, basically the season going ahead and rolling out. Hopefully, we go ahead and see something nice. I mean, Val has a lot to go ahead and look to. So this Tony. So overall, there are pretty much some quarterbacks that will go ahead that look like first round talent, but could end up getting dropped in the first and second rounds. And there are some receivers that are good, and also those receivers that don't have that much, but they have high hopes. Not talking about Rainbow or those other people. I'm pretty much barely even on the stat sheet, and someone did go ahead and change my thing there, so that's cool. But overall, 2 catches, 21 yards, and 1 touchdown. Well, yeah. I don't usually see that much targets in the game, so I might go ahead. The least I can really go to is basically I might go out and go up to undrafted. Also, big news. I finally had to go ahead and suffer and having to go ahead and type in on the Browns comparison thing on this anymore as they deleted it. So yeah. Also, I'm gonna go and type in a few things. So hopefully we hope I'm hoping to go ahead and see what's pretty much as going to go ahead and be a lot. But this isn't gonna be an intense season. But well, hopefully hopefully by the time this is gonna go ahead and end, we can go ahead. There might be some highlights of the year. Well, either way, I'm gonna go ahead and head out now. Thank you for going ahead and coming in. This has been your boy Brown Man. We're gonna go ahead and say saddle up, saddle out, peace out.